Hey everyone, back again with another video on the Datsun Roadster. Today we are actually working on some electronics, interior electronics. One of the things I did recently, I put the center console back in, new shift boot, things like that. Got inside and refreshed the inside glove box area, storage area. Ashtray is no longer an ashtray. It actually houses a USB port down here, which is part of the electronics we're putting in and wiring. I cleaned up this is actually a map light, so there's a little light bulb in there. We'll wire that up. Got the lock all set up and working. The key actually works in there as well. So that's all wired underneath, and we have a few things to clean up over in here from previous wiring. Another USB port there. The audio amplifier is in the footwell, and we'll actually be running one new relay, one existing relay, and a new little fuse panel right near the amplifier down there. Stay tuned. All right, heading over to the workbench. You can see what we got going on here. Here's our little fuse and relay panel that I've created. This will be mounted right on the firewall right above that audio amplifier I showed you just a minute ago. This actually is just made out of a piece of square metal. This actually was a piece of storage bin divider. It was an adjustable storage bin, so it had all these extra little pieces sticking in there. So I just grabbed one of those, drilled a couple of holes, mounted up. I have two relays that I need to set up, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then two places for some glass fuses, which seem kind of fitting because this car already has glass fuses. And then we will go from there. Alright, one of the things I want to do real quick before I mount this in the car is I don't want this metal plate rattling against the metal firewall. So one thing, my storage bins, found some foam tape. We'll mount that right on the back so that this is nice and quiet in the car. Stuff is super sticky once it gets going. And then we'll be good to go. I think I said that already. Looks pretty good. Doesn't that be perfect? Okay, so now once that's mounted to that bolt, it'll be nice and secure. Alright, so let's see what we got going on here. Here's our panel. There is our bolt. I'm going to try to stay out of the light and out of the video as much as possible. But that may not be possible. We'll see. So, we mounted the panel right in this area. And I have my bolt. Lost my washer. Let's see where that is. It's in front of the camera. There we go. And she's just gonna mount just like that. Oh, where'd that go? Always losing the washer. Timeout. Where'd it go? There it is. On top of the amp. Oh, there goes the light. Okay, lock washer first. Then the nut doesn't have to be super tight. And there she goes. Yeah, good thing I put the padding on the back, because I think that's going to wiggle a little bit here and there. Even it won't be as bad once the wires are attached. Here's one harness that needs to be attached to a relay. Now this relay here, which is attached to these wires, controls basically an accessory circuit that turns this audio system on, and it will eventually also, once we get this wiring done, it will run basically anything that's in that center console that we showed a minute ago. This relay will be for the map light that we pointed out in the center console as well, and we'll show you how that works in a little while. Stay tuned for some more wiring. All right, so for a quick explanation of some of the wiring we have going on here, we have 3 wires right here that are coming from the console area. This one that goes into this fatter black wire is our power out of the relay. We have a blue wire, which is triggering our relay off of the ignition switch accessory outlet, output basically. So I believe that is connected to the factory radio circuit, which isn't being used. So when the key turns to accessory or ignition, that turns this relay on and sends power out. This red wire actually comes out of the center console area from a toggle switch on off and turns the amplifier on over here. We have a couple of power wires for our amplifier. Red one here comes from the battery, is fused out near the battery, and this brown one is the ground wire. These are attached over to the amplifier on the side over here as well. So one of the things we need to do is change how this is operating. We're going to take this wire, which is the output from this power relay, and run it to both of these fuse. We'll call it the inside of the fuse, not the outside. So we're going to input this power from this relay to these 2 fuses and distribute that way. One of these fuses is going to be for the USB outlets in the center console. We'll also, I believe, let me think about it for a sec. Nope, just the USB outlets. The second one will be for the map light, and that'll actually be powering this relay. And that is it. So basically, we're going to be branching this wire off to both of these, disconnecting it from here. This black wire will make its way onto the outside of this. We have an in and an out of this fuse. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about as far as fuses go, let me show you what a glass fuse looks like on the glove box. So these are glass fuses, and they come in different amp ratings. This happens to be a 20 amp fuse. We don't need that much current flowing through these circuits, so these will probably be 5s or 10s. I think 10 going out to the USB is safe enough, and the light bulb for the map light probably only needs to be 5. I'll see what I have in my supplies though. Alright, so that's a quick little explanation of what's going on here, why you see so many wires, so many colors. You see a bunch of colors here from this relay. There's actually 4 wires involved with this relay. One is input from this main power line from the amplifier. So we're basically providing battery power. So basically the strongest power source in the car is the battery itself. So we're getting power input to the relay from there. We have a yellow wire here, which is actually a ground in this case. Never assume a color means something specific though. Just because it's red doesn't mean it's power. Just because it's black doesn't mean it's ground. You really have to know what you're looking at. Orange wire is actually connected to this blue wire, which turns the relay on and off. And then again, as we talked about, this red little wire comes out and is powering up other accessories. Alrighty, on to bigger and better things. Alright, at this point we've got a little bit more of the wiring done. Let's see, we've got here our connections to the second relay. We've also got our connections on the fuse itself. We will continue bundling up some of these wires, making them a little bit neater. Shrink tubing and wire ties where applicable. Alright, so moving on to another little section here. I decided to put a 4-pin connector on the harness that goes into the center console. So just in case I need to take the console out, I can just unplug it. I don't need to unscrew or unclip or cut any wires to get that out. So it's just a quick little harness. Let me show you how that works real quick. Grab a connector. Got one more to do here. Sorry if that noise is a little loud. I don't know if it was. Okay, so we have our tool here and our connector. This is male and female. This is a female. We put that into the tool. So that's going to squeeze the connector onto our wires. Move the light real quick. Sorry about that. It's a little hard to see. I'll try to make it visible, but so it goes in. And the connector itself, I can get it in there all the way. There it goes. It squeezes on the wire and the insulation. Gotta love when the camera shuts off for no particular reason. So we got those wires plugged in, and we ended up straightening out pins in here just to make sure they're nice and straight and not pushed off to one side or up or down, because we don't want to ever force these connectors together. We want them to go smoothly, and there they go. So we got all our power wires, etc. We have a ground wire that's going to go to our ground point back here eventually, and our blue wire here is going to hook up to the power wire from our new relay that we just put in. Alright, we're back, and all we have is scraps left. Oh, finger in the shot, nice. So we are all set. Got all of our wiring in, got our fuses in. As you can see there, our relays are wired. Some of our wires that go to the center console and such are routed. This is a Bluetooth receiver for the amplifier. That's back in place. We got all our wires tucked behind the radio. There's my finger again, nice. And she is ready to go. Let's give her a quick test. Key on. Okay, you can see our USB ports are powered on. Okay, and let's see, center console wise. You can see we have our USB port in there, lit up with power. And this might be my favorite part. I converted the cigarette lighter to not be a cigarette lighter. It's now the actual turn on for the map light. And that's what that second relay does, down under there. Alright, got any questions, let me know. See you later.